Good to have you and welcome back. Good morning, River State. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to CEMTV's Digest. My name is Bariswa Christian Runga. Today happened to be the 24th day here in the month of August 2026. And we'll have a lot to talk about today that's going on in the world, Nigeria, and River State as we progress. But I'm not doing this alone. I have my colleague with me, a gentleman. Good morning to you, Francis.
Hello, Barisra. It's a pleasure to always be here, and you're looking beautiful as always.
Good to have you back in River State. I good to say that. Good to have you back in River
Why
State.
are you trying to sell me out
No,
this
no, I'm not.
morning?
Just good to have you back, my brother. How are you?
Thank you very much, and
Okay.
it's a pleasure to be back. Good morning to you. Don't ask me where I went to, but it's been a beautiful weekend. At least I had a touch of fisherman soup, like the real fisherman soup, and iwe bang madong. You don't know what that is, but it's a traditional delicacy that I love so much. And whenever I visit home, I don't miss it for whatever reason. Of course, it's a brand new day, and with all of the conversations happening over the weekend, I kind of feel at this point, as Nigerians, we should have moved away from certain political drama and cloud chasing,
I hear you.
especially as we begin campaigns across Nigeria for the 2027 general elections. Atiku Abubakar, the US government, the FBI, and the records of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I just feel like this is one thing that should not even surface again. It surfaced prior to the 2023 general
Election.
elections. We didn't see an end to it. I feel at this point, if the US is raising these concerns again, whether it's backed by somebody coming out of Nigeria, one of the politicians or not, it is a disservice because if the US government was sincere and transparent as it proves or claims to
As it
be,
claims to
it
be.
should have been an issue that was over and done with in 2023 and not held on and then
To
brought forward
2027
again
election
in
again.
2027 elections. But we'll watch and see how the issues will progress.
All right, we've heard from Francis, and we'll have our guest this morning. His name is David Pius, a political analyst, also a philosopher. Good to have you, Mr. David. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, CEMTV. Thank you for always having me.
Okay.
And thank you, River State.
All right, good to have you. Today we'll be looking at building a stable Nigeria. Can good government and security and political stability restore investors to Nigeria again? How possible is this with a case of insecurity, banditry, fake agencies? Now the US is on to our president. Atiku, on the other hand, bringing subsidy back. Other people backlashing him. Ben Morris Bruce bringing his own part of the subsidy story. How do you think Nigeria can move forward with all of this in place? How can we have a stable country where we bring investors to come invest in Nigeria?
Of course, like I want to start with this. You see, good governance is the foundation of confidence in every government
True.
or, or in any clime. Now, if you do not have good governance, it wouldn't translate to having good security network or architecture. You will not have stability in the economy. You will not also have things going well for you. So good governance is just like is the foundation, is the bedrock. So and good governance is not taken by a flash as some
Okay.
people. You see, even the US you made reference to did not just turn out to be US with a flash. They passed through different, historical materialization till they got to where they are today. Now people can now refer to them as the US, the world powers. They, in fact, anytime we want to make comparison of saner climes, we make reference to them. But they didn't. There was a time they were even worse than the Nigerians factor as we're experiencing. There were times also they were even dealing with the blacks there. We all have this history. They say if a man does not know his history, he does not know where he's going through. We know this, and we know that what is happening in Nigeria is a transmutation to what will come up. It will either come out better or worse. It depends on how we take it. Okay. So for the likes of Atiku also lending the voice, taking from a clue from what was his name, the US must have said and all that. For me, I feel that is some political gimmicks right now.
Why
Of
would he
course,
say that?
No, definitely, this is a political season.
Okay.
So definitely, if I hear something that is not palatable on the side of my opponent, I would like to, capitalize on that so that I can win, some sympathy for myself, But we know that Atiku Abubakar, we know Peter Obi, we know these candidates were also had interviews in 2023 where they said they are going to remove subsidy. If they enter, so what is now everybody is crying that the reason why Nigeria is passing through what is passing through now is because the abrupt removal of subsidy by the Tinubu government. But these two guys also said they will remove subsidy, and all of a sudden, because they know Nigerians are crying because of the pains they are passing through, because of course there's no pain without gain, or there's no gain without pain, and they're passing through that pain now, and all of a sudden we now look at what will make Nigerians sympathize with us, what will make Nigerians throw their votes to us in, because we are emotionally driven in Nigeria, we're not fact driven, we move with our emotions. So if I say I'll remove subsidy, then of course people will think things will go back to normal. That's what is happening. And that's what they're
But still
capitalizing
on this, before I let you continue, sometime in 2012,
Yes.
Tinubu was against the then President Jonathan administration when he said he was going to remove subsidy. He said, if you do this, you're going to enslave Nigerian citizens. But then the same Tinubu came to power 2023 and declared subsidy gone as first speech. This is the same person that was against President Jonathan back then, saying if you remove subsidy, Nigerian citizens will suffer. This is Operation Good Luck Jonathan tax. That was how he put it in quotes. And everyone was clamoring, yes, don't remove subsidy. Though he had a better version of not removing subsidy. But at the end of the day, he came to power and his first speech as a president was to remove subsidies. Same thing you criticize and you label the former president a bad sheep. And now Atiku is against him. He's a haunting and haunted.
This is a narrative they want you to believe. And
But it is fact. It is factual.
No, I've said it in this station before.
Okay.
Tinubu never removed subsidy.
Well, he said
He announced what was already in the budget.
no,
He didn't pass budget.
don't say that, because what I'm saying, 2012, when 2000, all right, when Jonathan was still in power, Jonathan came with all of this. Let's take off subsidy. He hasn't implemented it. Don't forget.
Yes.
Tinubu came up with own cohort saying, no, this is bad. This is Operation Tax Reform of Jonathan.
True.
Don't remove subsidy. If you remove subsidy, you will enslave the people. This same person that was speaking from one side of his mouth decided to come from this other side of his mouth, just like voila, 2020, you came in power 2023 and subsidy is gone.
You're still saying the same thing. The only thing you're correct on is that yes, he was prior to that his election in 2023 kicked against subsidy removal.
In 2012, he kicked against it.
It is
Okay,
sacrosanct that
okay,
that is true.
okay.
But it is not true that in 2023 he removed subsidy. He only, if you remember, the budget that was subsistent in the year he was sworn in was already passed in November of the previous year. And normally when you pass a budget, the budget will start from the next year, and the year started. He only made an announcement of what is already on ground.
But the president before him didn't remove subsidy.
No, it's Buhari that removed subsidy. Take me to anywhere. That's the truth. Buhari removed subsidy because subsidy was not in the budget. So by the time subsidy was removed already in November. So by the time he came in May 29th, when he was sworn in, he only made an announcement that subsidy has been removed.
Hold your talk on that. Francis, what do you have to say?
That's the truth.
I see you boiling up leftovers.
I like for us to go back and look at the political landscape in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If the argument is that the Muhammadu Buhari's administration
Yes.
did not budget for the continuation of
Subsidy.
fuel subsidy
Yeah.
effective May 2023. First question I'd like to ask. We have seen in this administration how there is no money for certain things, including the purchase of SUVs and vehicles for the members of the National Assembly, and we
True.
borrow.
Correct.
True.
we have seen, not just for this administration, in the midst of the lack, in the midst of us not having enough to finance a budget, monies have been borrowed and channeled to build offices or build residential apartment for the vice president.
True.
Still within this administration, we've seen a presidential jet taking priority.
True.
When the other one could have been worked on and still being used. In the cycle of this administration, we've seen huge amount of money being budgeted to refurbish or replace furnitures in the presidential villa.
True.
These are furnitures that even in our own homes, we don't change furnitures every other year. But we have seen, I'm saying this to get to the question. Let's say we agree to the fact that the budget provisions for 2023 did not make room for fuel subsidy. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wanted to sustain fuel subsidy, he would have sustained it, because as a president, provisions empowers him to make supplementary budget that will now cater to fuel subsidy. True. As he came into office. So if the president did not make that move but opted to remove fuel subsidy, it means, also going by his comment, that even when Muhammadu Buhari was in office, he was still within the corridors of power. Yeah. Remember, he has made that comment several times. So for a man who was within the corridors of power during the previous administration, the president cannot say he was not aware of what the outgone administration had done. And so it is his deliberate decision to remove fuel subsidy. Going back, before I fire my question, to Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar agreed fuel subsidy will go.
Yeah.
Peter Obi agreed fuel subsidy. In fact, all three of them said fuel subsidy must go. But Peter Obi has insisted on different occasions that while he agreed that fuel subsidy should go, there were certain modalities, a step-by-step move and processes that would have been implemented to gradually ease out fuel subsidy.
True.
Atiku Abubakar coming back at this point to say, I want to introduce fuel subsidy. His own standpoint, as much as I don't agree with him, coming from a place of the corruption that riddled the system, is that, when fuel subsidy was removed, we had expected that this money will be channeled into things that will benefit the Nigerian people, which we have not seen. And if I have to be fair on the president, we cannot entirely blame President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because we have also seen that the states are getting a lot more money. The local government are getting a lot more money. So what are they doing with this money? Because those were the projection. And part of the reason that the present administration fought for local government autonomy was so that when this money gets to the local government, we should be able to see progress flow. So now going to my question. President Tinubu, having removed fuel subsidy, is responsible for whatever Nigerians are going through. He cannot be excused for that plight of Nigerians.
Of course.
That is the reality. Whether or not, politicians want to play game with it. But away from the fuel subsidy removal, can President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remedy the scenario playing out? Looking at the fact that, I have released more money to the states, we are not seeing the impact. I've released more money to the local government areas, we're not seeing the impact. What can I now do? Remember, even the local government autonomy and the local government account system that the president or the Supreme Court had given directive on, till today, there are states in Nigeria that are not living up to the Supreme Court judgment.
Of course.
So what is the president doing to ensure that this money can actually be felt by Nigerians?
Okay, now let me thank you that you made a very good, in fact you analyzed the matter how it's supposed to be. Now and for the records, I would like to just state categorically, like I said, one, we have established the fact that Tinubu did not remove subsidy. Tinubu only made an announcement about subsidy that was removed prior to that time. That one, you can take it to the bank and you cash the money, of course. Now, but
which money? Which money?
You cash it, So, but for economic policies, I am not an economist, but from what I have understood about both macro and microeconomics, is policies that are sustainable are more like the long-term policies and not the short-term ones. The short-term ones gives you immediate gratifications. For instance, you would have argued that, okay, you have removed subsidy, maybe use that money, build roads, build hospitals, make
I
things.
agree for that.
No, okay, let me just assume without
we don't
conceding.
need roads when the ones we already have are.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Now let me explain. What I mean is that we all will agree to the fact in the layman economics that when they send in monies, or when we have these monies from subsidy, we're supposed to use it to do something that is tangible, people will see and touch and feel, right? Now, but that's not the case when it comes to what they call it, to governance. Governance, if you go to your constitution, which is the grand norm that regulates every activity of the federal, the state, and the local government, there are things to be done when monies come to the country. There are projects under the exclusive list, there are projects under the concurrent list, and there are projects under the residual list. In fact, to tell you that the economic reforms of president is, you see, they try to, people try, the media, not CEMTV actually, but the media, not also electronic or print media, most times the social media, they've used it to carve a narrative. See, people were going through something, so what do? They entered into social media, make sure that people feel like this government is daft, this government does not care for the people.
But that's the fault of the government.
No, I'm coming now. I am the president, for instance. I said, okay, I'm going to make sure that there is electricity for everyone. I'm going to make sure that we have good roads. I'm going to make sure that we have all this. Okay, I've removed subsidy. Instead of it to go to few hands, let me send this money to my state governors. Let me send this money to my local governments. Chairman, so that they can now implement those things, because they are closer to the people. The local government chairman is closer to his people. If something happens in Port Harcourt City local government now, it's very easy for you to call the local government chairman, or even get to the office of Port Harcourt City local government. But it will not be very easy for you to go to Abuja and get to Aso Rock. Now, I've given these monies to these people. Now, the people, in an ideal situation, the people are supposed to ask this local government chairman. Imagine you were collecting 200 million, 500 million. You are now collecting 1.6 billion. Please, let's be sincere. Who am I supposed to be asking for these monies now? I'm supposed to be asking these people, where is our money? Now, that's reform. He has made sure he did it to see whether it will work. Of course, he has seen that, okay, it may work, because we're not in the economic what they call it, committee of the president. They must have seen it, okay, this is going to work, but it's going to take time. So that time is filled with pains. That time is filled with sacrifices. That time is not sweet. That time cannot be rosy, because if a gold want to come out, it must pass through fire. Now, this firing period we're passing through is what the opposition is now capitalizing on to now sway the minds of people. Of course, who will ever think that what's his name, Atiku will say, I will return back subsidy? How? Okay, how do you now return back subsidy when you have Dangote refinery on? How do you now return back subsidy when you have the new refinery in Yenogwa built by one of the industrialists that lands on that Dangote? How do you return it? Subsidy means, okay, bring this fuel, I will pay you part of the money. Then you just want to institutionalize corruption to its highest level. So why don't we use that money? What we should be thinking is that let's use this money, let the money work for us. Now they will now ask, so where have that money been? Then you and I will not tell our people, this is where the money is. Do this road or do this. For instance, if you ask the local government chairman of Port Harcourt City local government, what are you doing with our money? He might show you, okay, we have Okija. I don't know whether you know Okija. There's a street called Okija. It has been deplorable for years, decades. He's fixing it. Then that is, if he talks, if he wants to bring out his 100 days in office, I mean, Sir Oweli Hunda, if he tells me that I have done Okija, I will know that, yes, this man has done something. Because I'm seeing it. So, before now, local government do not do roads. But now, I can see this man doing roads. Then if
one out of how many?
No. As I'm speaking to you, even Eagle Island is repairing all the roads in Igbo Island as I speak to you now.
Asking one out of
Yes, now that is the reason why you will now ask your Eche local government chairman, what have you done with our money? He will tell you, I have brought lights from Imo State because of the what do you call it? Because of the privatization and the policies of the governor of the president that states can distribute light. I have gotten light from my people. You now ask the Ikoro local government, what have you done? That is how governance grow. But if you say you are waiting for the national, you will wait forever. Let it cascade to the local government, which is the best form to be close to the people, because the people are closer to their local government than even the state. I bet many people have not gone to the brick house, which is our government house, but they have gone to the local. They enter the local government headquarters like every other day.
Which people enter the local government? Is it the Port Harcourt boys that shows Ashobi call senator and produce stomach and go to club to do obey? Because as we speak, the street of Orazi is in a bad state that I've ever seen, and yet there ought to be a local government chairman. None of those boys will speak of, because all they know is to just get money at the chairman PA. You go to club and have fun. So who is gonna speak?
The people that will speak are reasonable people, people that understand that, you see, governance is not one way. I always say this. There's a man, a grand congenital broadcaster in this state. He was there in the 80s and the 70s. Yeah, 70s, 80s, 90s. He was a great man. I respect him. He died quite early. His name is Boma Erekosima.
Oh.
You know him, or blessed memory, from the River State radio. That was the only radio we had there. He sings a song. There was a song here, Radio Rivers. He would sing a song, as an intro to his program. He said, "Everybody they cry, government they kill us. Who be the government? Now you and me." It is our responsibility as journalists, as broadcasters, as people on air. Please, Orazi, we need attention there. Reasonable people, when they go to social media, it's not to go and dance. So tell people, this is what we need. Look at what the girl in Ahuda East or so did. She brought the attention of the world.
Oh, she dragged
the world. Did she do it as she did it?
And what happened?
No, that's what I'm saying. See, there must always be an opposition against good minds. But when the good minds close their mouths and sleep in their houses, you will continue having the situation and will come to radio and television and keep on crying. That girl stood up today, whether they have set juju traps in the front of her house, exiled the mother, said the mother should not buy anything from the market again. Even at that, at least that school will be remembered that this girl was the one that did something. It is a responsibility for all of us to stand up in our little way and our little areas and stand up. That is governance. That's why I sang that song. Government they cry, people they cry, government they kill us, we be the government. Now you and me. It is time for us to stand up and tell people that, Governor, do this thing for us. The streets of I don't know whether you know Warfare Road. That one is another death trap. People, you should come out. I saw it on social media also. I live around that area, and I saw people saying that road is bad. They came up on social media, and these people that came up, some of them are in support of the governor, but they said this place is bad. Governor, come and fix it. That is the responsibility of citizens to stand, and that's how governance should be stabilized.
As much as we all agree that it's our duty collectively to speak up, it is the role of Mr. President. The role of the governors, the role of the local government chairman to protect. Now, where the local government chairman and his boys fail to protect the rights of the citizen, the governors should step in.
Of course.
Where the governor fails, the president should step in. And I'm using this lady as a case study. We saw how the chairman of the local government council went to harass not just the lady, but her family.
Allegedly.
The video was out. Forget that. When we had the evidence, it was out.
It was out. It wasn't alleged.
It was evident. I saw the video. I watched the girl interview live. You could see the bruises on her body.
True.
And you could see that this person was physically abused. Now, what has the government of River State, and if the government of River State has failed, what has the federal government done to deter such people? Because when people speak, she was not speaking from a point of hate.
No.
She was not speaking from a point of bad-mouthing the government. She was speaking as an aid. And from her story, she had told working with the local government chairman, she said, sir, this is what I have observed. So she did the right thing first by bringing it to her boss, sir. This is the situation we have in our environment. And instead of fix-taking, he shifted the responsibilities. And having shifted the responsibility, directly or indirectly giving the young woman the opportunity to say, okay, since this is not under my local government chairman, my immediate boss, it means it demands the attention of somebody bigger. And since the boss is not also willing to now take that, which should have been the right thing. Oh, this is what, since it's not under your purview, this is what we've observed. We need your help, your excellency, Life Oba, come and help us. Since he did not do that, and the girl does not have the direct link to the governor, the social media became
the last resort.
Okay. So it is something that he should have even commended the young lady and even award her for doing that. But we saw the reverse of the case. And that, you remember that came on the heels of the House of Assembly member.
Sorry to call it in Port Harcourt. She's in Lauda East.
It's still
Why
are you guys always come? Just like no, calm down. Just like when she was saying Orazi, she said Port Harcourt. Let's distinguish between Port Harcourt City Local Government, Obiakpo, Lauda East, so that people will understand. Okay, let's call Port Harcourt.
Is not far.
It's Port Harcourt.
Generally,
yeah.
From all indication, remember this came just after, I think there was a house member who was also accused at that moment of violently abusing the wife.
Yes, I saw
it. It was
that.
around that time. That's why it generated a lot more buzz.
Because you see, power. What are you showing?
Imagine a young woman, not even a man, that you say, okay, now man to man muzzle. A young woman that you should even be able to protect. Imagine that girl was your sister, it was your daughter. Would you do that as a person to that person?
Is it question to me? I won't do that.
I'm taking it to the point that while people speak, and it's a right to speak, the government at all levels owes us a duty to protect those who speak. And not allow local government or any government official to run wild
and harass
abusing and intimidating them.
No, I subscribe to that in its totality. You see, in as much that's the difference between myself and the normal political pundits and supporters. I use my brain. For me, if you're doing well, I will praise you. If you're not doing well, I will tell you, do constructively. Now, because there are many temperaments. Just like somebody comes to your office, you say, please, I'm busy. And the person comes, the same scenario. The person goes, oh, please, I'm so sorry, I'm busy, I will get back to you. Now, I have said the same thing to two persons in different ways. Now, manners, we don't know the intricacies that took place. I am not holding bail for the girl or the local government chairman. I don't even know him. But I feel also manner of approaches, because at least I've worked with I've worked as aides to some of them. So I know that there are ways. There's a way I will get to my boss to tell him that, Oga, this thing, we need to do it. And there are ways I will also get to him, and he will feel like the oppositions have, sent me. Are you seeing the scenario I'm trying to create? Okay, see it like this. In one scenario, the girl would have been seen as doing the right thing.
Okay.
But do you know, we had a very sensitive team line as at then. That was within the state government and the local government fracas that was going on. Okay, now when this girl has said it to the local government chairman, she had not gone back to maybe ask, have you cascaded it or something? She went on social media, and that point, it will be seen. Now I'm looking at it from the normal perspective. It will be seen like, is that local government chairman that sent that girl to go and start.
But hold on,
I'm coming now, let me land.
Okay.
So you will, when it seems as if the girl was accused, telling state government, please come. It will seem, and remember, she was under the payroll of this man. It will be assumed that the local government chairman has sent her to come and castigate the governor, thereby causing more rifts. I'm just telling you from every angle, because see, normally I don't think from one angle. I thought from this angle. I also thought from the angle of the man would have done better. I thought from different. So I'm just bringing this angle. Now, possibly there might be something like that which we didn't take to cognizance. Also, my own thought there is that they would have used a better approach. And I know that every action, according to Hooke's law, has an equal and opposite reaction. Now, if I come to you like I told you, somebody came to my office and I say, please, I'll get back to you. Just give me a few minutes, please. Just step out, I'll get back to you. And somebody came and say, Oga, I'm busy. Please, I'm busy. Allow me to attend, I'm busy. The latter is seen as rude, but the other one seems unpolite. What I am saying the same thing.
Okay.
Are you seeing where I'm driving at? So I feel there was a bad blood, maybe as consequent upon maybe the approach.
Now
That's where I'm looking at it from.
This person is a father.
They are relatives, of course. I heard.
This person is a father. Sometimes your child might be rude, maybe go out of line, but this person is saying the real thing. What do? You don't kill the messenger. You take the message.
Now you're sounding like Ken Sarua.
you don't kill the messenger. You take the message. Now this girl had to wait. Nothing was coming. She had to resort to social media.
Very well.
What did you do between the time which she came
had
to you?
delivered the message to you.
You expected her to come back again to remind you of your civil responsibility. Which country are we living? Are we aliens?
Now,
okay, wait.
I'm not defending the man, but we're talking about governance, good governance. Yes, because I'm not his media aide.
Okay.
Neither is he paying me or anything. So I'm not, and I don't know what's really happened.
Okay.
So I will lack the locus to make verified analysis of that.
It's fine. Now away from that, something is trending in Rivers State. People had to come all out to protest against one chance.
Yes.
Now this has been happening.
Yes.
The police have come up.
Yes.
If you see this, let us know. But we are saying the police will also work with those agberos in junction. That's my perception.
No, they do.
I've been saved by these agberos. I'm not joking. Now I'm very friendly. I'm jovial. I was going on one of those days like, fine guy there said, you didn't buy. Let me use our Nigerian pidgin. Nothing for me. Like, okay, nothing do. I become one go as I don't tie. I say, fine girl. I wanted to interview you. He said, madam, come back. I said, it's happen. Enter motor the bus stop. Leave that one now. I know it's in at the talk. Enter this one.
An
agbero that I usually greet. Oh, he throws salutation anytime he sees me. Some of them are like that.
Of course.
Like, what's happened? I said, I know they see that motor. I enter that motor. Now that guy saved me. That was a one chance vehicle. Now, people of Port Harcourt had to take to the street to protest against one chance because a lot has been happening. Let's see that snippet and we'll be right back.
Alright, so 2 days ago, this young man came to my office and then he said he went to a hospital and he's
All right, Francis, what do you have to say concerning this video?
It's been quite a heartbreaking scenario coming out of Port Harcourt. I think every day when I say it and I think about not myself, I think about my wife going out every day and coming back. That's one of my most grateful moments because there is literally no day in Port Harcourt that you see it and you didn't get to hear, one incident of one chance or the other. We've also seen in recent time how the people are beginning to take responsibility. I think I've seen in recent times a couple of one-chance motos and operators being, captured by the people and then the police being invited. I know in situations like that, the people want to take jungle justice, which is not justice, because sometimes people, because of experiences, might not be able to wait out to ask the right question. And it is the duty of the Nigerian police force to investigate to be certain that those people are actually part of, a one chance syndicate. And then I'll also attach to that is the fact that if you catch two people, they might not be the representation of the entire syndicate. And putting an end to their life there and then will only expose us to more danger. So allowing the police to come in, pick them up, further investigate, and pick up the rest of their syndicate members, that is the best way to go. But it's a sad narrative coming out of Rivers State. I'd like to also commend the River State Police Command. They have done, a little, according to the people, they have done a little to address the scenario. But then, while the police has not done enough on the part of the people, if you look at some of the respondents and reactions that we've gotten in recent time, that, you get to report to the police and you don't see immediate results. Truth is, the police are no magicians.
No, they're
so
not.
you can't expect to make a report today and arrests are made tomorrow, and then the people are charged to court the next day, and the court gives the verdict the day after that. So we need to also understand these things. But in the midst of that, I love the fact that the people are coming out to unite to say, look, we have had enough of one chance operation. But beyond coming together to say we have had enough, what individual responsibility are we taking? There is an adage in my place that you don't let the young say which means that the community.
We're back at this again.
Serious.
Go ahead.
That
Okay.
the community knows us individually. It knows who we are.
True.
So every community in River State know who is a thief, who is a kidnapper, who is a one chance member. So what are we doing collectively as a community to weed out these people? That is where we should take the conversation to, and that is where I'm coming to you. Because this is your city. What can be done to encourage citizenship responsibility collectively, so that we can put an end to this battle? Because it's not giving just the individual, it's giving Port Harcourt. I stepped to you yesterday, and the first thing I heard is, how do you people manage? They say one chance, they keep people every day. In fact, there is no day there is, you don't find more than one, two, three cops on the road because of one chance.
The lady died as a result of this one chance that I had heat on the road.
I saw that clip. I think this guy, one of your ambassadors, David,
terrible.
This comedian that just won an award,
MC Day.
Yeah, he covered that. Now let me say this categorically. I love what you said about allowing the police to have how will I call it, to investigate. And, understand, and I can tell you for
and
free,
no more jungle justice.
yes, I can tell you for free. In fact, the IGP is against jungle justice.
There's nothing
In fact,
like jungle
he
justice.
Did a video, a
Yes,
full-fledged
he
video
did
on
it
that
to that effect.
premise. Now, do you know that kidnapping people through one chance is, you don't just, when you get them collect their phone, and all that, that's not the business. The business goes into organ
Harvesting.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you something that will shock you. As at 4 or 5 years ago, I heard of an incident in the Eche axis. Eche is more agrarian.
Yeah.
And the bushes there are so much, and forests.
Very
and all
thick.
that. Very thick. And I heard that that's where they do or get those. One of the person that came to confess said
The dirty business.
They kidnap them. They remove their kidneys and all that. And people within the community
We're aware.
were aware because they were supplying ice blocks, supplying drinks
For the organs to be preserved.
Yes, for it to be preserved before they take it. In fact, cooler. They said if you see people, that's one of the guys that confessed. If you see people with cooler, you know that either there's ice block inside. They are coming to supply so that they can put some maybe kidney or
Heart or
liver or anything before they now transfer it. Now, my brothers and sisters, are you now seeing that it goes back to my earlier maxim and cliche that a society or the government you have is a reflection of the society? Now, how will you even think that, like he said when he was bringing that adage, if I'm staying in Duke, for instance, a densely populated area, where in fact that was where I was born, to be precise, I know people within that confines. If you're passing, I know your face. Even if we don't talk,
Yes,
I know
true.
I know this person, I know this person. But in a situation where I don't know this face, it is my responsibility, politely, bros, you come new here, so that people will understand that security is not one man's business. Of course, if you look at the ratio of a security personnel to citizens, you know that Nigeria is very far from it. So what do? We should take a responsibility. I was listening to one policewoman. I think she's in charge of anti-cult something in Nigeria when it comes to sensitization against cults. She's a policewoman.
Okay.
She said yesterday, that she has gone to over 6 continents and she found out one basic thing, that everybody is a police officer. You are a police officer. I am a police officer. What is my responsibility? I am there to furnish these people with accurate information that will help. Of course, I know the part of protection of the citizens comes to play here, because if I report and you find out that I was,
and then there's a snitch within the police force that now goes to tell back.
We understand those abnormalities.
Was it supposed to be?
No, it's not. But societies graduate. There will come a time such thing, but we should know that it is our responsibility. Do you know why that Agberu man saved you? Of course, he knows the people. He has seen them, especially the police force cannot tell us that they don't know that this thing happens very well along that Elios road.
Of course they do.
I stayed within that area also once, so I know from the Air Force area to Elios that, and you know, anywhere that is lonely, you can do pickups.
Yes.
There are parameters you use in knowing these things, and the police force, I know they have been living up to expectation to an extent, but they should double up their effort. They have the wherewithal to clamp down on these people. This is why, see, it's easy. I have entered one before personally, and when I entered, I saw the gimmicks they were doing. I just told them, because I'm a night crawler most times when I come back from work. Sometimes I come.
Did I give you the story of Dollar?
No, you didn't give me that. Okay. Except the one that is coming to my hand now.
The Dollar story, like.
Okay, I will tell you. I want to change.
Oh my God!
They have their antics are known. It's a normal thing. I was there. They started doing somehow. I told them. I just had to exclaim. I said, "Me, I be do boy, you. Anything I do, this motor go tumble. Yeah, all of us go die." I said it. I exclaimed it. Everybody just respected themselves. I'm telling you the truth. I think within the what do you call it? I know it's not by what I said, but at least it triggered something to tell them that this, and where I sat in a place that I could, if the man wants to do what he's doing, I can talk to the driver, even if you are killing me, because I can never die as a coward. I would that steering, I would turn it and we all have accident there. You understand me? So when I said that, they saw the boldness. They are humans too. My boss always told me something. He said, someone that wants to come and shoot you with a gun is also afraid that if you get a hold of that gun, you can even kill him. Are you getting me? So they're also afraid. So when I did that, there was this fright among them. So before we went, we went to that. There's a junction, I've forgotten the name. They now said the fuel don't finish. So they have to, and I said, I'm not gonna wait, make her come down. I came down, and it was about 7-8. I mean, look at how lonely that place could be. You know, so it's a responsibility for everybody. Even this investors' confidence we're talking about. Even investors have to see if the citizenry will be looking out for their investments also. If the citizenry are not those weapons fashioned against them. So we have to look at it. So it's not only based on the government. Let us see until the country learns, everybody in this country learns that security and all this is both the government's responsibility and our responsibility.
Speaking of security and accountability, you know, we talked about the fake agency where people was coming, and the head of civil servant asked to go for it, which is Esther Didi. It was a loop side and it hasn't happened over a decade and all of that. But then we also have another story that's making news where another fake agencies were uncovered, and now the president is saying arrest this person and take to prosecution. Don't forget that Matthew Denny is still saying, bring me out to the limelight, let me see my lawyer, don't do this prosecution in the secret. And yet we have another stories of fake agency.
Yes, of course. You see, I wouldn't blame the former head of service that much, because if you remember, she was just appointed, I think a year or 2 or 3, I don't know, but before this, I think she was, you know, when you come in as a head of service, you have permanent secretaries, you have directors, you have parastatals and all that. What you do most of the times, I'm not holding brief for her, I don't know her, you know, your own is you sign papers, they bring, and you believe that there's been an existence of a procedure, prior to when you came, because they will hand over files to you. Yours is to see what has been done, see what you need to do. And remember, this guy came with appointment letter, and which they put in the file, whether fake or not fake, but the woman most probably saw it as one of letters, and of course
it was in the budget,
and that is why I also opt for not more of this manual system of filing. I opt for the electronic system, so that I can dictate one or two of these things. Just like the only thing I will subscribe with digitalization of that's the only thing I subscribe with him, because we are.
Is that the only thing you
No, that's the only thing I subscribe with him, because we just like AI does many things these days. In fact, somebody just sent me a video of a poster talking. We would have thought that a flyer you have can be talking with an image there. So we should capitalize on all those things to cut those loopholes. But we should understand that prior to now, there's been a system. Okay, let me tell you something. For instance, they are renovating the Port Harcourt, the River State Secretariat, right? So you know that there are exchange of files, carrying of files from one place to the other, because they are renovating the whole complex. Now, there is human error there. Something might happen there. Some bad eggs, which we have in every society, whether in Nigeria or US, they will use that opportunity. Some contracts could be inflated. I'm saying this now because of tomorrow. Some contracts can be inflated. They might, when they are carrying files, because we're still moving on the manual system. If it was more of the electronic system, where we have archives, electronically, we know that those things are there. If you like, let the place burn down. Haven't we heard in this country that when they want to investigate a particular place, that's parasite, they will set fire, and you start hearing somewhere is burning.
So I'm happy that you highlighted this. See, there are things that politicians, the people who have found their ways into power, do, and you know that this is intentional.
True.
In this country, somebody has come out to say, look, the money that we're looking for was swallowed by a python.
That's under Buhari's period.
We've seen different hilarious analysis of how funds disappeared. We've seen how records disappeared. We've seen every form of criminal activities happening within the MPS. And over these years, we have the finance, the technologies are there, and we have the means, we have the brains to man these technologies. Why has successive administrations failed to put these mechanisms in place? There are no justification. And as much as we want to make excuse for, the human error and the oversight, we should have, as a country, moved past that level of depending on humans entirely for all the processes.
Sure.
Because let's even look at the presidential, the fake, according to the government, the fake presidential agency now. If Adeni operated from outside of the secretariat complex that is meant for only the federal government agencies, I would understand that this is,
it's possible,
But for him to operate under the government only establishment, then have an office and have people assigned to his office and even feature on the budget, there is no excuse that the presidency, there is no excuse that the office of the head of the civil service, the accountant general, the attorney general, auditor general can give to Nigeria.
Of course.
The only way for us to know, because if we are remember, and then he had highlighted that he's not alone. He has stated it, that he's not alone. And that is one of the reasons he's saying, I don't want to be interviewed behind closed doors. Bring me to the floor of the National Assembly. And we are asking at this moment, if the likes of Very Dark Man and the he-she Bobrisky could be brought to international TV
So
over the correctional facility drama that unfolded, why are we having a problem bringing Adeniyi? Because this is a more serious issue.
True.
Compared to the issue between Verda Man and Bobrisky and the correctional facility, this is a bigger issue. And if we do not address this holistically as a nation, then we are setting antecedents or precedents for a lot more corruption to happen. I remember having a guest who came out, reminded us that prior to this, we have had incidences where people go to Abuja and come back with appointment letter from the presidency.
Of course.
And they're operating in Port Harcourt, for instance.
Of course.
And they're just being in a hotel in Abuja, just having fun. Come back and see they're bearing one name in the ministry.
Because we have felt, let's even accept the human error. What happens to high-profile cases like that? Okay, even in a private office, there are letters that come in that you pick up your phone and personally confirm.
Yes, of course.
Mr. President, I have just gotten XYZ letter from your office. And
are you sure
this is from you? So where was that diligence? Where was that professional diligence that the head of service and all the relevant key stakeholders in this conversation?
That's why I feel the head of service took the fall for all this, because, like I said, I'm looking at. I always like being realistic, because I found out that if we were too emotional about matters, we may not be able to, pinpoint what we're looking for. Now, I remember she came in, if I'm not mistaken, I think quarter last year or so, and I'm just looking at the exegesis that surrounds the office, that these things have been, just like you came here and maybe there's been a document that has been there already, and you just came in without, of course, due diligence. You just followed suit. Now, and I know that also you are asking a very salient question: why are we not subscribing to the man's request that he should be interviewed publicly? Now, there are matters. I'm not a security personnel, but there are matters that have deep, repercussion that can shake the fabrics of a nation. Now, most of the times, what they do about those things, that's why they always have closed door meetings. They will get the details. Sometimes they sort out these things without we knowing. Yes, it happens even in the family. You see, let's not be oblivious of this. Even in the family, where your mother, your father, there's sometimes you say, now you children go outside. Honey, this. Then by the time you come, that thing has been sorted out. Now to how will I call it, to make the children not feel the pains or see the challenges associated with that.
We want to feel the pain.
No, don't feel it. See, it's not everything.
Is involved. No, we want to.
No. See,
all out in the open.
No. Don't be the judge in this matter. You cannot say Femi is involved when he was the one.
Femi has been pumping on.
Okay, imagine if I come today and say, because you chatted me or I chatted you to say, please, are you coming to the studio today? And maybe you just say, are you coming today? And maybe my wife saw the message and said, coming where? And start concluding that you are my side chick. Will I take it that yes, what you're saying is true? No. The man has said that that is Adeniyi, had an interaction with Femi. Femi has also said that when he heard about these people, he had already called the security personnel to investigate them. It's his words against this person's words. So let's not be emotional. No, look at what I'm saying. They started an investigation already, just like what Very Black Man has been doing. There's this man who was talking about a police officer, a well-known police officer. Committees were already set. At the moment he said that for investigation to go on, he now discovered it and also came and told us that committees have already been set. And they invited him. So these things are already on ground. It's government. It is not. It's not social media. It's government. The government will finish what they are doing, and they will tell us.
If you bring Very Dark Man, bring the he, she, which is your gender and my gender, all out in the open. What stops you? Because this same Femi is saying, bring me out in the open. I don't want this to be closed door. Which means
Don't you also think that somebody that's
Mr. Pius, him saying bring it out means names will roll.
Thank you.
Now the politicians are trying to cover all of this and also put the blame on him, which is not fair on Nigeria.
Don't you also think, as you think from this angle, don't you also think that the man is trying to be used by the opposition at this time
What opposition?
it's possible. See, you don't know what happens in this country.
What opposition?
Sometimes
You're sounding like a politician.
no. See, I always look at things from this angle. You looked at it. I have looked at it from there. But I'm also putting it to people because we're attending to people. What if, just like somebody, your child, come to you and tell you, Daddy, my sister beat me? I will not say yes, you have said so, and it's true. Even if I love you, you understand me? I will always hear from the other side. You see, because sometimes when you hear murder cases, you say they are doing forensic investigation. See, that person that you even saw the evidence with his handprints on the knife may not even be the culprit. It might be somebody else. So what if, let's assume without conceding, that this person, Adeniyi, is saying the truth, or what if is being used by the powers that be to get at a government? It's only in Nigeria we don't distinguish between governance and politics. We mix both together. After politics, we're in the political era from now till January. We finish politics. By May 29th, we should be looking at governance. But the funny thing about Nigeria, that is when we start our level of politics. So that is, what if this person is doing the opposition work, or what if this person is saying the truth? Let these people finish their investigation. No matter, look at Tupac. You remember when Tupac died? Tupac died years ago. When did the result of what who killed him and all that came out? Just some few years ago. So allow the process. Let us not preempt justice. Let justice play. It might be delayed, but it will not be denied.
We are not preempting justice, and we are not trying to ridicule the process. As much as we understand the court security situations that might be applicable or might be attached to this.
Yeah.
I am saying, and Nigerians are saying, that this security situation is and can be likened to a security situation that we've seen being
similar.
Because if you look at the Bobrisky, very dark man, and the correctional facility, we know that once you're sentenced to prison, you're supposed to be in prison.
True.
There should be no special privilege in prison.
True.
So for somebody to go to prison and then have a special apartment of her own, or his or her own, and then
of their own, use one of their own.
Of their own, and then operate independently and be able to have like somebody can go to prison for 6 months and come out and it looks like the person went on vacation. So that was a high security issue.
True.
High security risk for Nigerians. And this other one is also a high security risk. One of our guests asked the question, why have we not seen Femi Gbajabiamila take himself out of the office? Why have we not seen President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ask to step down Femi Gbajabiamila and all the key government stakeholders, or at least the one person that was highly fingered, which is his chief of staff,
until
investigations
let me ask you a simple question.
Because
if Femi resigns and goes to sit down and say, okay, you guys should investigate, what's the difference when he's there as the chief of staff?
A lot of difference.
Are the duties the same? No, let me explain now. The duty of an ICPC person, which is to investigate matters. You said you sent this person 400 million. Which account was this sent from? Okay, you said no, you sent physical cash. I'm coming now. Why was this sent? Which mode? Will that be stalled by somebody being a chief of staff? The chief of staff is just taking care of his staff in the government's house. But let's be sincere.
And I'll ask you the same question. Hold on. When Dr. Beta Edu and the humanitarian ministry was ridiculed with the why did the president not sustain that?
No. See, in Beta Edu's case, she is the minister. She is in charge of both the finances. This man is not in charge of finance, for crying out loud.
We're not talking about finance. We're talking about the office.
No, you're not getting what I'm saying. I want to know how the office of the chief of staff can interfere with either EFCC or ICPC.
The chief of staff to the president was directly responsible for the letters that came out.
According as alleged. He says no signature now.
Of the many signatures that came out, it was just one that was incorrect. 9 were correct according to the report by the National Assembly.
Went through him.
Okay.
So when of 10 signatures, 9 are correct. it raises a serious question about
you saying?
So he
office.
So he has to resign for them to investigate whether the signature is his or not.
No, not about the signature being his or not.
He does not have immunity and can be arrested if found culpable.
Mr. Pius.
In this country?
No, that is why.
Mr. Pius.
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Pius, a person in government is being indicted with this sort of allegation, and we're seeing the reality that this man is saying you were involved. 10 letters with your signature correct, only one was wrong.
Okay.
Some persons are saying that one was wrong because they just wanted to bring Mr. Martin down. That's on the side. Now this person worked with the presidency. So since this person is indicted, which is also robbing on the presidency, why don't you step this person aside for investigation to go on?
But that's what I'm saying. Whether he's there or not, the investigation is going on.
Anyway,
The cases are different. And the simple truth is,
But am I lying? Whether he's there or not, they are not investigating. Okay, how do you now find out that 10 letters were his signatures and one is not? Investigations are going on. If he's found culpable, at the end he does not have immunity. He's not a governor.
Why is he working when investigation
He's
is going
taking
on?
care of staff.
What
As a chief of staff.
let no other person who is competent enough to step into that office while
That's the prerogative of the president.
indicted.
He knows his kitchen cabinet.
That's what-
See, I know you're feeling a bit how will I call it, angry that this man is saying this, but look at it. If this was a governor that has immunity, I would have said this man does not have immunity. Like you said, about 11 letters we have seen, 10 are already indicting him. That is his signature. Now, but that's not enough proof when you go to court. It's not emotions. Now, that letter.
But you are not a judge.
Let me explain something that happens to letter in ministries. If I bring letter from my office, there's what they put it into a file, a note. There's somebody that will receive it. Somebody that will send it from here. Not the person, the clerk or whatever is there in his office. They will send it to the person in the other office. The person will receive and write, sign, and collect that letter. Those things are being checked. What if by the time they are checking those things, they find out that there was nothing like that?
Why don't you take him off? Step aside for investigation.
Whether he goes
That
or
is the
not,
first question.
they will see the notes now.
Nigerians what they want.
Nigerians are emotional. No, Nigerians are too
No,
emotional.
don't say that.
We are too emotional.
We are not
We do not think. See, the reason why you see, as a trained philosopher, I don't like thinking one way. See, if you think one way, you will fall into mistakes.
No.
Just stay. Sometimes when you tell me this is eyeglass, I want to say no, this is not eyeglass. I want to think different. Because why must I agree that that is eyeglass? You ask yourself. Somebody came and said this is handset. What can't it be on the leg? I have a different way of thinking. Maybe that's what is affecting me.
let's leave the ways of reason aside, comrade. The reality is this. If you look at, we all sit and we comment what happens in the US, we comment what happens in the UK, we comment what happens in the Western world. When a leader says, oh, his office has been fingered for corruption or allegations, and the person just steps aside to allow room, or the leader above him suspends the person pending investigation and determination of the case. That is where institutions are working. That is where we understand that if I am in a particular position, there are people who look up to me, including the security architecture.
True.
Very correct.
And as long as I'm in that position, there are certain investigations that might not go on as it should be
Very well.
when I am taken out of that office. And that is where Nigerians have concerns. If Femi Gbajabiamila has been fingered, Mr. President, suspend him, get another person to take over that position, pending the investigation being done and dusted with. That is when
Now, let me ask you a very simple question, and I want you to answer sincerely.
Go ahead.
Because this has happened in the US also that you talked about. A man was said to have raped a lady, and because he was a black man, and was sentenced to prison. Because of the evidence, he was in the room. In fact, they looked at very many parameters and sentenced him. Years later, the girl came out and said he framed the man, that he wasn't the man. The man didn't rape him after all. At that point where the lady was saying, was even crying, you know, with emotions, everybody believed that, including the judge. That's the same thing. Now let's assume without conceding that Femi is not culpable. At the end, you suspended him. The time he's supposed to maybe contribute his quota to the presidency and the work he's doing, he was suspended. Then 2 years later or 3 years, we now found out after the whole quagmire that Femi was not responsible. How will you feel?
Okay. To answer your question,
Yes.
I'll start with the US narrative. The judge, the girl,
The jurist.
the
Because we also have a
entire
jurist here.
who were emotional failed to pay attention to the rule of engagement, which is proper investigation. Remember, in the earlier comment, you even highlighted it, that there are processes. And part of the reason we'll always reference the Western government, part of the reason we'll always acknowledge the Western government and the Western leadership is based on how thorough they are with investigation.
Which take time.
Yes, it takes time. So in this case, the institution failed, because if proper investigation was done, then they would have gotten details that would have shown that even the young woman, with all of her emotional display, was seeking empathy. And we see, even in Nigeria now, if you go to, I've had the opportunity to be in different court environment where issues of divorce are being fed. Most times, the people who are giving the worst scenario at home are the ones crying the most.
Very true. You're getting to where I love the way you're going.
So you are not going to depend on emotion. And back to the question you asked, what if in the next 3 years we wake up to see, Femi Gbajabiamila was framed? One, the justice system would have served Adeniyi and his cohorts the punishment for framing another man. Two, even the president has stated that whether you are within the corridors of power or not, you can serve Nigeria. So if the president chooses to suspend Femi Gbajabiamila and another person takes charge, it does not stop him from contributing to the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he is being suspended from an office, not from the relationship. From the relationship, he can still serve the president. From the office, another person takes.
I wanted to go somewhere else for your statement, but it will take us long.
And let's not forget, as far as political relationships are concerned, in this country we know there are people who are not within the corridors of power,
but they are still in power.
We are correct. Now it goes to validate my point that whether the man is there or not, investigation could go on.
No, that's not true. Not like it should be. Speaking of very dark man, something happened.
My friend sometimes.
Something happened. I said a Kaduna man has come out to say allegedly that a particular hospital in Abuja removed his kidney without his consent. Let's go take a look at this and we'll be right back.
Alright, so 2 days ago, this young man came to my office, and then he said he went to a hospital and his kidney was removed. Now, before 2 days ago, being 19th, I came to the office. They have been here before. I think about 2-3 weeks ago, they came with his mom. They came with your mother, right? Now, they came before, and then they said they went to a hospital and they removed his kidney. But the whole story didn't make sense to me, so I told them that I'm not going to do something that does not have proof. Until 2 days ago, being 19th, and they came back again, and then he said, please, we want you to look at this, we want justice. His kidney was actually removed. Now, without doing anything, I just say, you know what, I called the doctor at Nisa Premier Hospital in Jabi, and I said, please, somebody came to me and made a complaint that his kidney was removed. I will need to do a scan. You will do scan. So of course, yes. And then that was how I drove in the rain with this young man, and then we went to the hospital. So this is when we went to the hospital.
No, this is the first time. That's why I was really fine.
Alright, so this guy, an experienced, came to my office that they removed his kidney in a hospital and without his consent. So we came to the hospital here in Nisa Premier to do a test. Open your stomach in case you see. Yes. So we have to do a test to be sure that whether his kidney is there or not. So we are here at the scan place and he's about to go into the scan. We have to end the video and then show the doctor face.
There's a liver, so you follow the arrow. There's the liver.
Okay.
In the right quadrant, there's the right kidney.
Okay. That round thing here.
And this one with blood supply.
That's the kidney.
Yes, there's the right kidney.
Okay.
This is gallbladder.
Okay.
This
black
is
thing
here.
here.
This is blood
Okay.
pump.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the pancreas here. This one is outline.
Okay.
Then here on the left side,
Yes.
there's the spleen,
Okay.
and these are the intestine.
Okay.
There is no left kidney here.
Eh?
No left kidney. This is the stone. This is the bladder.
You know, before we talked about this very dark man issue, talked about the black market, where one chance have to, work with people, the people from the community, bring eyes to just keep the organ safe because they're turning to organ market, black market. And this guy has been making claim that he went to Abuja. He's from Kaduna, only to find out that his left kidney has been taken. A very dark man, the activists had to ensure to take him to the hospital to find out is the kidney available. From all the verification, the kidney is missing.
Yeah, it's very pathetic. I've been following this story. Yesterday night, he now brought a further strong revelation, and I almost jumped out of my bed when I was listening to it. He said, and I quote, that many people within that area in Abuja, most young people do not have left kidneys again. That's what, in fact, the guy in question took the police officers to that area. So they caught the guy that took him to that hospital. Now they don't find that person they arrested doesn't even have left kidney.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's online. In fact, that he sold his for 7 million naira.
He sold his
intentionally. So the person that is heading that chain is where the person they are going for now, and which I was a bit I felt worried, like you don't bring out this kind of thing online because the person will run. But they said most of the young guys within that area in Abuja do not have left kidneys. Most probably must have sold it. If you can sell 7 million and survive, and you still have one that can take you all through life, they go. And so we should calm down on those. See, there is so much of organ harvesting. I tell people that is the ritual money we're talking about.
What is going on?
Organ harvesting. Normally I heard that about a kidney in Abuja or so for transplant. I think 40 million for kidney. Then the cost of transplant is about 10 million. That's about 50 million. So imagine how lucrative such business is. I know that if you're working with 80 million, so if you cut one, you still have. So that is what's happening. No, I'm telling you.
What if the one you have left can't even sustain you? But
they don't care.
My question now is, they are doctors. This is a hospital. And all you do is to take someone's kidney
and sell. Are you now seeing the society that is producing the politicians we're talking about? Tomorrow, no, please look at it. Tomorrow, that person that has aided a doctor that swore to an oath. What do they call that? Their oath again? Is it
to save life.
A very Socratic oath. One oath they swear when they want to take over. They want to become medical doctors. Now they swore to that oath. Imagine somebody that swore to that oath. That is a doctor. You see them panache. They look very nice. Wear suit like this, my handsome brother. and when they come out like this, and you find out that such person can even conceive a thought of removing another person's kidney and maybe sell it to they are aware. And imagine that kind of person now maybe make some money and get into politics. Those are the kind of leaders you see.
This goes for to say that these one chance persons actually
It's a
work
chain.
with medical practitioners.
You see, it is not, you are not out of line. I am telling you, I told you the situation in Eche where somebody years ago, the man confessed, they come, they kidnap them, they kill them. In this case, they kill them outrightly, remove their 2 kidneys and any other sensitive organ that is working, put it in coolers, preserve it, transport it to those people that need it. And imagine that's a lucrative business. If 1 kidney should be 40 million, imagine you having 10 kidneys. That's about 400 million.
What is going
Now, are you seeing? So when you see these guys with flashy cars, you'll be asking yourself, what is happening? That is how they make their money. Some of them, and that is society we are in. And when the society becomes, that is why we are talking about investors' confidence. They will not become, if
because the investor is not even
safe, and this is not the government this time, it is the people. So it is a dual effect.
And I'll also say this: we can't let the government out of this.
True.
There are certain personal experiences that I would have wanted to share, but the time is not right.
Yeah.
But here's it: the black market for organs trafficking in Nigeria, in the West African region, is not thriving because there are few individuals involved in it. It is thriving because there are people,
powerful people,
powerful enough to call the top brass of the Nigerian security architecture to say, that's my boy,
allow him go. Yeah.
That is why we are where we are today. I had a scenario where an organization came into Nigeria, and up north they paraded themselves as a foreign organization marketing certain products.
True.
And what they did was take people into it, and the moment you get into their camp, you could not pass. And who were those protecting those camps? They were security personnel. Now, a schoolmate of mine could not have made it out if we didn't have access to, God has blessed us that we have the alumni, and we didn't have access to top military personnel.
Sure.
So it took the intervention of top military personnel with his entourage to go to that camp to get the young man. And after several calls, including even faking that the young man's parents are dead, and as the first son, he needs to come back home to bury the parent. The organization said, within his XYZ stay with us, we have expended XYZ amount on him, so he has to pay that money.
Amount to do what?
So these are things that is happening across Nigeria, across West Africa, and it comes down to the compromise within the security architecture. Take for instance the man that killed his, I think was it in Anambra or one of the southeastern states, killed a pregnant woman and was trying to cross into Ghana.
Okay.
That was arrested at the border, Badagry, crossing into Benin Republic. If the immigration officer at that border was compromised,
would have gone. And so is the case of many that have gone.
That's the scenario. So if we have security personnel who are conscience wise, they are morally right or morally firm to say no. What if my brother falls victim tomorrow? What if my sister? What if my niece, my nephew?
What if I'm not there?
What if my children? And I'm not there. I should expect another person to be able to stand in for them. So, and I will still come back to the same conversation. Jungle justice does not work
at all.
I think in 2014 something happened in New York. One of my friends, he is in the U.S. Marine, came back, and then he's a pastor also. So within one of the days he was driving around, he said he stumbled on a community jungle justice of some sort was happening. A young woman accused a young man of stealing her purse and a handset. And the crowd automatically mobbed, and then somebody just drove, oh, this is my brother. And you know that somebody who was about to be mobbed would cling on to that person.
Yes.
And then he stepped in and stopped the young man as a security operative. And being that in the Facebook community, because it's also involved in different humanitarian activities, so a lot of people know his face. So people recognize and say, pastor, he's a pastor. So he now asks, where is the young woman whose purse was stolen? And the phone? She was nowhere to be found.
God.
And then they turned to look at the people who, and he asked the young man, this person that came to pick you, is he your family? He said no. They turned to look for those people, entered the room, zoomed off. So that became a new pattern. So they just target somebody, jungle justice, and then somebody comes in as a savior. You don't know that that person is being taken away for his organs to be harvested.
Are you seeing the society?
This cannot
God damn
happen
it.
without people within the society saying we have had enough. Because sometimes when things happen, we say, after all, it's not me. It's not my brother. It's not my sister.
Oh my
And we
God.
keep quiet.
Okay, Francis, thank you very much. But I'm just feeling. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. As we wind up, our time is far gone. I would have analyzed this, but let's just take a look at what happened in Cross River State, the mall that was got with fire.
So regrettable.
Millions went down the drain.
They've seen it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
They don't have fire service. They don't have fire service. Fast, but you didn't get fire this in control. Calabash fire is burning, burning so serious.
What I heard was we don't have fire service.
The
we
same
don't have
question I
fire
kept
service.
asking.
We don't have fire service in Nigeria at this present day.
But they do have now.
Now I feel such a business should have all of this emergency units.
Thank you.
Response, because you can't just let this out. It will definitely happen. This is business. It happens. There are accidents, emergency. They should have people they fall back to. I'm not faulting this on the government, in as much as the government is not. Really
It's also involved, yeah.
But you came up with this business model. Do you know millions or trillions, and also the tax they pay to federal government? You should have a unit that will responsible swift action.
Now, sorry as a safety professional,
Yeah.
if I get to a place, a building, do you know the first thing I look out for? Fire extinguishers.
extinguisher.
And if you look at this area, I was scanning through it whilst I saw the video when it broke. It was broke by this young man that I saw first, Justice Crack.
Okay.
It was on his page. I saw it. So I was just looking when I would see these fire hydrants, because such big facility supposed to have these fire hydrants. You know these big pipe you always see in areas. Then you now see two outlets for water.
Okay, yeah.
Now. And they should have, as a matter of fact, every organization like the hyper cities we're having, the shop rights we're having, supposed to have a trained firefighter certified by ISPON. That's the Institute of Safety Professionals. Because with that, you know that these people are trained to fight fire. I am a trained firefighter. I fight fire when I'm given the opportunity. I've been offshore, so I know how to. We have the drills. We've been through the schools, to understand that. Now, do you know these people always say that's the Nigerian factor also is not my portion. They will not instead of them to employ firefighters, maybe 3 or 4, and get those facilities there.
I feel they are wasting
No, they say it's not their portion. It's complacent here. No, I believe because they ought to put it as a matter of policy, because it's in the safety, it's in the health and safety laws of, I've forgotten the year that was enacted. Even this facility we are in, supposed to have a trained, even if the person is not a trained safety person, you go and train the person on firefighting.
Are you aware that not every staff or every office where you see fire extinguisher that they know how to do?
Some don't even work. Some of them I go and see it on the floor. And I'll look at the. No, I'm telling you. And I'll look at the. Sometimes see if I will check the date. I check the expiry date. I check when last week was service. I'm telling you the truth. So if it's not there, I will just look at this one. This one not serious, because a little wire can cause a spark, and anything can happen. So in safety, we don't leave anything to chances. There's what we call near miss. For instance, I want to trip and fall here. I know that thing has the propensity of causing hazard. And we don't look at it in Nigeria. We just assume maybe our fault. It is not our portion. We bring religion into it. Now their portion has come, and they are now looking for what to deal with that portion.
As a wind up, Francis, what do you have to say concerning?
Well, like he stated, I'm a safety, oriented individual.
Yeah.
I may not have had the safety training and all of that, but I am safety conscious, even in the home front, in the office, and where we find ourselves. And I expect that, apart from the laws, as a business person, you should safeguard your business
Very true.
for your staff, for your goods, and for your customers. And that failed. Then the government in Cross River State, both at the federal level and the State Fire Service, both failed. Because you cannot tell me that within the time that it took for that fire to consume the entirety of that business,
The only mall they have there in that state.
the state government or the State Fire Service was not on ground. So it clearly means maybe they didn't have fighting gadgets.
No, later I saw a different video later on. I now saw guys on their coverall, the firefighting, and that was after I saw the likes of MC Koboko. They were trying to bring out goods of those that were not born. That's where I saw, and I said, so you people, after all, you have, maybe they are not responsive. That goes to show you something. Look at Bonny local government. Do you know Bonny local government has a fire service now? So even local government has the right to have fire service.
Not every time.
And use it and be responsive
to come do what is necessary for your business.
Of course.
And as we call it a wrap, Mr. Pius, one man. In 2 seconds, your advice to the government.
I will say the government should do better. Of course, there's always a room for improvement. But I wanted to say that this government also have tried. I wanted to read out something for you, which I didn't have the time.
Okay.
You know, we have in 2004, our inflation was about 33.2%. But right now, in 2025, which was already the last year, it's only 23.0%. So there's an improvement. Then also, our foreign reserve has moved from 40 billion to 46 billion in 2025. So there's an improvement, even though it's gradual. Let us be going. Let us be going. We'll get there.
Well, we all have ourselves to blame for the things that goes wrong. So let us be collectively responsible for our security, for our safety, for our welfare, and of course, have a conscience that builds a better government system for us.
Be responsible for yourself and that of your brother and also that of your sister, and try to hold your government accountable. And this is a much we can take on CEMTV's Dissect. My name is Bariswa Christian Winger, and I've been doing this with
Francis Oyima Adet. Many thanks for joining us.
Do have a great day.